All right, they want us to subtract a binomial from a trinomial. But before we do that, let's look at an example that's going to make a little more sense to you. And it's just subtracting some basic numbers here. So if you saw this, to subtract 2 from 10, okay, without knowing any math, if someone just said, hey, subtract 2 from 10, you're going to tell them 8 pretty quickly. And what you're doing here is you are taking the 10 and you are going to subtract the 2. And that will give you the 8. So what's important here is the thing you are subtracting has to go to the right side of the minus sign. The thing you're subtracting goes to the right. Now, it comes first, but that doesn't mean that we put it into our expression first. Let's apply the same thing to what we have to this problem up here. We are going to subtract something. Okay, we are subtracting a binomial. Here's my subtraction sign. Now it's telling us that we are subtracting 7x plus 3. So I'm going to subtract 7x plus 3, and I'm going to subtract it from this trinomial that's here in blue. 4x to the second minus 3x minus 2. Okay, without setting this up correctly, there's no way you can get the right answer. But now it's set up correctly. Okay, now we don't have to worry about the colors. We take this trinomial, and it just comes out of the parentheses because there's nothing out here multiplying that we have to distribute, right? So it can just come right out of the parentheses. These are now free. 4x squared, you're free. 3x, you're free. Minus 2, you are free. But now we need to get these two out of the parentheses. And remember that we are subtracting not just the 7x, but we are subtracting the 3 also. So a lot of people like to think about this as if they are distributing a -1. So if we have -1 times 7x, that's going to give us minus 7x. -1 times 3 is going to give us minus 3. Okay, and I do see a lot of mistakes here. This minus, I'm going to put it in bold. People will subtract that 7x and they forget to subtract the 3. And now we're just going to combine our like terms. Okay, if you want, you can rearrange. You can put your x's over here and your numbers over here together. But I'm just going to go ahead. Maybe I'll do some underlining. 4x squared. That's it. That's the only x squareds we have. 4x squared. And let's get a different color here. Oh, let's go for yellow. Minus 3x minus 7x. That is minus 10x. And then maybe like an orange. I'll use a squiggly line. Minus 2, minus 3, and that gives me a minus 5. Okay, and that's it. Noting that we don't have to add anything to two sides because we don't have two sides. Right? Two sides would mean you had an equal sign. So I subtracted a binomial from a trinomial, and this is what I get. And you just give them what you get, right? No way to memorize what you're going to end up with until you get there.